Welcome back to another episode of Stoppage Time TV. We're live back in the flesh, live and direct. What you man saying? You good?
All good.
You blessed? You blessed? You sure?
Yeah.
Oh, cool. I was gonna say the usual, but you know what's going on at the moment. You have to be
Copyright
infringements and that. So I've been gallivanting. You know them ones that you have to
Shut up. I hear that.
Hey, listen, I'm out here, innit? Listen, people talking. A lot's happened this week. Son's injury to Gomez is a bit mad. We've had comeback kings, the two teams at the top coming back from, looking like they're going to be out and dry, getting results. We've had turning the corner and then going back to square one. We've had a few things in it, but let's start with Liverpool. Good result, really good result.
What?
Mane coming clutch, and they stay on top of the league. The question is, they've been coming back. They've not been playing great. They've been getting results though. Do we reckon they could go unbeaten for the whole season? Is it a possibility?
Nah. No, for me, I don't think so. I think
Bearing in mind, I think in
They gotta play City.
in 2 seasons they've lost 4 games. I believe it is.
Listen, I'm not saying it's not impossible.
Amazing Anfield
but
record
it's one
as
of them
well, and I
ones-
think, don't quote me, I think it's 27 on game unbeaten run in Prem. And Anfield record speaks for itself. Is it a possibility that they could go undefeated?
This upcoming game against City will say a lot. That's what I think. I think that will be the clearest indicator of where Liverpool are as like the standard bearers in the league, if I'm honest. Like, I think they're showing like playing ugly, not having all their players available. I think by getting these results and squeezing them out like this, they're looking like they could walk the title. Unbeaten though, that's big, bro.
Nah, I think there's no chance they're going unbeaten. Like I can't see them
slip
going
up's
unbeaten.
due.
Yeah, slip up is due. I mean, you got to give credit to them for grinding out these wins and stuff
Leicester,
like that.
Arsenal.
That's mad respect. I think, to be honest, they're gonna wash City. To be honest, but
Seriously?
yeah. I think they're
Well,
gonna
that's
wash City.
their
Yeah,
next
yeah.
game.
I think they're gonna wash City. I think they're gonna win the league, but unbeaten. Nah, I can't just be throwing out. I can't be throwing out unbeaten like that. That to go invincible as Arsenal did. That's a feat that needs to be respected.
With-
I can't be predicting that.
No,
That's not happening.
I fall in that same category with what you're saying. But if you look at Arsenal's invincible run, how many? There was a few draws, right?
12 draws.
12 draws.
in total, yeah.
26 wins.
And what this Liverpool side are showing is, even in let's take the last few games for example. This Andorra, right? Leicester game, 90 minutes plus 5, score a goal. Man United, 85th minute, Genk, 87th. Even though the game was finished, they're still scoring late on. Arsenal 90 plus 4, Villa 90 plus 4. They just have this ability to be relentless and keep
It's
going.
almost like like United when they had Fergie.
Yeah,
almost
yeah.
in a sense, like
almost a
they
replica
just
of
the
Fergie
last
time.
10 minutes they just seem to be like, all right,
just
we're
switch
gonna
it
wake
on.
up now.
And it's not like your usual suspects. I haven't seen. I'm not getting at him, but I haven't seen Salah this season. If I'm being honest, I actually haven't seen.
He
him.
hasn't been like
You guys
a
need to open
focal
your eyes then, innit?
standout.
No, okay, not. I have seen him. That's probably pushing it. I have seen him, but he's not been.
He hasn't been carrying the load like in previous
yeah.
years almost.
Yeah, but that's just because I just don't think Liverpool are play. I think Liverpool are like, even though they did it a lot last season through their fullbacks. But I think they're playing through their fullbacks even more this season. I personally,
heavily.
Trent crossed the ball 20 times in one match, bro. In the
Is that
last
20
match.
successful ones or just 20?
No, 20 attempted.
And I
crosses.
think
that's so much crosses in a match, bro.
It's true.
Do you know what I mean?
And I think in that United game, it showed as well that if you can withhold their fullbacks, that they are penetrable. Like you can get through them. The only thing is I don't. Even if it's not City, I think Liverpool will probably slip up against one of the smaller teams, especially when the Christmas period kicks in.
Yeah.
For me,
That's
once that period gets through, we'll see. Because I think last year was just
That's
after
when they
January when they started to hiccup. So for me, that is always the biggest judge of a team's character.
And I guess with everything as well, what we have to add a factor in is I genuinely feel like they tried to lose that game against Arsenal midweek.
Oh, boy, they were
And
trying,
and they
then
still managed
lo
to
and
win.
behold, the crowd fired them into
What's it? Club World Cup. They've got to compete in.
It's gonna be
Champions
tough,
League is
man.
still there.
Yeah.
The squad as well. The squad's the quality from the first 11 to the
It's
bench.
very different.
Like Lallana came on and scored, and Origi came on and scored. But
Lallana's
it's a big
playing in the
difference.
6.
It's a big difference when them man start when Salah and all these men are starting, and in Lallana, and that can come on. But when it comes down to times where Lallana is going to have to be starting games, Origi starting games, we'll see.
Yeah. So with that being said, the next game is City. That probably could take it away. I think the last few games, the last one was 2-1. Then City there was the draw. Then there was the 4-3. City wiped them, and then the one before I think was a draw as well. My thing is,
they drew. They should have beat them.
Yeah, we've said for long now that they have to win. We said it here. We had a whole theory where we said that the biggest mistake they made last season was not beating City and was that draw. Because after that, they had the.
They just started to have the hiccups.
Is this the same thing again, or is the point gap too big this time?
I think it's the same thing, because one thing Liverpool know from experience as well is City are gonna keep winning, mate. They're gonna City are just gonna keep coming. So every single week is like a cup final for Liverpool. Because I think if Liverpool drop points. Obviously they dropped against Man Utd, but away from home that's a big game. If Liverpool drop points. If Liverpool drop points against, like, let's say, like a bit of a lower team, not even a City. If they draw against City, I think they're all right. If they drop points against a
team they should be beating,
Sheffield United,
and it's City win, all of a sudden the pressure cranks up, and City are gonna keep coming. This is the third time doing it. Well, trying to go for a third time. They're experiencing this. So and if Liverpool, every game's a cup final.
Literally, and I think like now is the time to go for City with them having the centre back issues. Liverpool's home record being incredible. Like they could have a 9-point gap.
Yeah,
so it's like,
well, City have proved that in their last game.
This is a make or break game for Liverpool's first half of the season.
100%. But
I wouldn't even go second half. First half.
Yes, they Walker goal and assist. Like City have proved that they can. They big game, big players. They proved they can come clutch. So
it's gonna be mad.
It's gonna be. It is. I don't know whether it's gonna be the firework game we want it to be.
But when Liverpool go away, for example, for the club, if it stays like this, let's say, for example, and then Liverpool go away for the club world, they're going to come back with games in hand, right? So by the time they come back, City can be top of the league. City can be top of the league on goal difference. All of a sudden, the pressure's a lot different, bro. A lot different. So that could come back. United, we've been in that situation many times. It's the truth, though. We've been in that situation where we've gone to the club world. We come back, and I remember we had a game against Stoke, and Hernandez scored in the last minute, and it was like, if we didn't get that result, all of a sudden,
pressure's on.
So it's going to be mad.
On United, though, it's very different from Club World Cup times.
Trust me.
Let's talk about the Vitality Stadium. 11K stadium, you know. I can't even say anything because we've held licks to Bournemouth as well. Like, this is where, like, you have to, you know, when you have to humble yourself. We've held licks to Bournemouth, but, bro.
The thing is, I'm done past thinking that this is a surprise. This is just
you're just used to it now, isn't it?
But the thing is, it's not a surprise, but it's like, bro.
I mean, listen.
To put into perspective, right? I think why it's more annoying is because you understand football, so I didn't hear a lot of noise from you midweek to now. But I was hearing, we've turned the corner, we're in control, we've beat Chelsea. We can do it.
Games on the bounce.
Go forward.
Yeah.
We can move forward. Is it 2? We've won 2, or is it 3 away games?
3. It was 3.
We've won 3 away games for the first time in a long time. We're back.
I don't know about we're back, but the thing is, look,
you weren't saying that.
The thing is,
I was gallivanting. You know, I'm not in the streets anymore because people are copyrighting me. But I was gallivanting.
The fans weren't saying that too much. The thing that actually came from Ole, which is funny. He's the one that came out and started saying,
trying to create a new narrative.
Yeah, it's a happier camp now. We've got wins and all of that jargon that he throws out so he can extend his time in the job. This guy, all he does is talk about future, because he knows if he keeps talking about the future, that's what's going to make people think, let's wait, let's see what happens. And each hurdle keeps coming and he keeps falling over. Again, I was not surprised we lost against Bournemouth.
I don't think you can blame that on him though, because a lot of them players were the same ones getting them results over the last couple of weeks, and people were saying they're looking good. But I mean, I'll be honest with you, like Maguire, for me, Smalling has gone now, and I'll be honest with you, I can't tell the difference. Like, they've spent 80 million on Maguire, and I don't think you can look at that back line and say there's an 80 million defender in there. Like, he looks very...
Smalling is looking very
Is that what they're calling him?
That's what they're calling him out there.
From Smelling to Smaldini.
That's what they call him out in the streets.
Yo, that's mad.
Gallivanting, they call him Smaldini.
Like, I don't think Maguire's doing anything that Smalling wasn't. It's one of those.
Okay, let's break down the game though. So Bournemouth, a 1-0 loss. Josh King, who ironically played underneath Ollie.
That goal, actually, that was a goal I was talking about. That's better than
What?
Nah.
The Josh King goal. That, come on.
Man
That
saying
was
Josh King
techie.
better than Rashford.
That was
Nah,
techie.
you're
You know what?
You're
Let us
just
know
mad,
if you
man.
think
You're
Josh
mad.
King's bicycle flick kick was better than Rashford's free kick. Let us
Oh
know.
Lord.
But
Bad boy
Like,
goal.
I don't know,
ridiculous.
But
Wan-Bissaka, he said 50
that was
Getting ridiculous.
He said 50 mil, hold this.
Yeah.
that like Ole used to coach.
You see,
Nah,
that's
Wan-Bissaka-
why
We're gonna
I
get into
highlighted
it. So Josh King used to play for Ole, cool, in the reserve team, whatever, cool, whatnot.
shit, yeah.
Ball comes in, Wan-Bissaka's marking him, little bicycle kick thing.
Bro, it's,
But if you break it down, Harry Maguire lets his man go, and then for the rest of the match, I'll be honest, from what I saw, I didn't see United posing any drastic threat. I can't
course
remember
you
the
won't.
pundit it was, but he was saying Martial was non-existent.
Bro,
Martial was
of course you
non-existent.
won't. Like, this is-
I don't like this
We spoke midweek. I said, listen, I can't say what I said midweek here because it's a bit sensitive, but if they keep playing Rashford like this year, God forbid anything happens, bruv.
bro.
Like, the guy's
Listen.
tired, bruv.
Listen,
Like, you're playing.
this is what's required at the top level.
Listen.
When you're paid that money, I'm sorry, like I'm not sitting here having sympathy for him playing 90 minutes back to back to back.
It's
Like,
not
as
about
a
that.
top
It's about
player,
playing
that's
on
what you should be
injuries.
doing.
It's
I'm
about playing
saying-
on injuries.
I'm saying, so
What
imagine.
injuries?
He's been injured for quite a while now.
saying,
I'm not having
imagine.
that. You're not playing full 90 minutes if you're injured.
No, but this is what I'm saying. Who else are they going to play?
What do you mean?
Greenwood
is there, bro.
Listen, this
okay,
is the
no,
thing.
so
Listen,
I'm sorry,
I'm
but
happy.
was Lukaku
No,
not there?
but
Did they not
I'm
say
happy.
Lukaku you can go?
No, but
After
this is why-
scapegoating him for a
this
year.
is
Now
why
look at him.
no.
Brace yesterday.
But
Like,
this is
how many?
9 and 11, and I think that's
9
record
and
is
11.
it better
Listen,
than Ronaldo's record when
This
equal
is,
to
and
R9's
this is who
record.
they were saying, get him out. Now
Listen,
United
it's
fans
not
are
about.
like,
See, the
oh,
thing
no,
is,
we knew he could score,
Yeah, but
it was just
it's
the way
hindsight.
he
Now,
played.
now everyone's just doing hindsight.
be
though.
coherent.
It's a very,
Hindsight,
it's
I
a
was
very
saying this
hindsight
last year.
conversation.
I was saying this last year. You lot were scapegoating him.
Listen, it's a very hindsight situation because when Lukaku was playing for Man United,
He wasn't scoring
he was
goals.
not good. He was not scoring goals. He scored 14 goals last
You lot-
season.
you lot
So let's
weren't
just
trying to
nip
play
that in the
two.
bud. Let's nip that in the bud. He scored 14 goals last season. So he didn't do his job last season, did he? Yes
Was
or
it-
no?
was
He
it-
didn't. No, wait.
Did
He's
you lot
nearly-
put him in position
brother,
to
he's
succeed?
nearly scored as
Did
many
you lot
goals
put
for
him in
Inter
position
Milan
to
already
succeed?
than he has already
Like,
the whole
'cause-
season last year. So did he do his job last season?
Did you
Yes
lot
or-
put him in
answer the
position?
question.
No, he didn't. He didn't. But
He
you lot did
didn't.
not provide
But
him
wait,
or help
the
him.
most important thing, okay, so you're using that, but then if now somebody was to say that about Rash, if somebody was to say that, you'll say that's bullshit.
What do you
so
mean?
you need to be consistent with what you're saying. That's
So
am I right or
Rashford
wrong?
now hasn't been
Hold on,
given the
wait,
opportunities to score.
Are you listening to what I'm saying?
I'm listening to what you're
What
saying.
you're saying right now, you're saying, okay, you're talking about Lukaku. Rashford, I'm just saying, for example, Rashford has scored, 7 goals this season? So just 2 under Lukaku. So he's having to do what you were saying that Lukaku's doing right now, right? So but you're talking about what
let's
you're
be
saying-
real.
you're
Rashford
now
scored a
saying-
lot
no,
of
but
penalties.
Wait. But you're talking about, listen, you're talking about, you're not putting, you guys didn't put Lukaku in a situation to score. But then you're
100%.
saying, 21, you're Rashford, you got to
Bro,
do it,
you
get
lot were
paid
just
on
trying
this
to
one.
lump
That's
the ball.
not consistent.
No,
That's not,
no,
you're not being
no,
consistent
no,
with what
no,
you're
no,
saying.
no,
I'm
now.
gonna chime in here.
You're not
I'm gonna
being
chime in
consistent
here.
with
I'm
what
saying
you're
you've
bro.
left. The
Come on.
reason why I brought up Lukaku is because
Look,
you've left yourself
gonna
short
chime
of
in.
options.
Okay,
Of course,
let
you
me
said
chime
now
in.
who's
who
now
do
whose
they
fault-
need?
Now whose
They
fault is
got
that?
rid of
Whose fault is that?
Lukaku.
Whose fault is
But
that?
this
Whose
is
fault
where
that?
this is where I want to chime in.
That's
You
what
got
I'm
to sign.
asking.
You got to
This is where
replace.
this
That's
is
the-
where
that's the issue.
I want to chime in.
Losing
So-
Lukaku, losing Lukaku is not a big deal at all. It's not replacing
Replacing.
him, bro. You got to sign. Listen, Herrera,
Then don't
bang,
get rid.
bang, average
Don't
player,
get rid.
bang, average player, Herrera, and it's looking like, yo, Man United need Herrera. Do you know what I mean? Because you need to sign someone in there.
Like
You need to
Herrera,
sign-
Herrera
who's better,
can go.
Herrera, or Fred.
Herrera.
Exactly.
100%, come on.
Exactly. And if you're not going to sign a replacement, you're going to be
No, I get
struggling,
that.
bro.
I get
You're
that.
going to
But
be
the
struggling.
thing
That's how it
is,
is. You're leaving yourself.
With all of
Come
this
on,
said,
man.
right? I just have to say it. The sooner Oli gets out, the better. And it's not because it's
What is Oli supposed to do though?
No, but
Really
this is
and
this
truly?
is what I'm
Coach?
gonna break down.
Like,
This is what wait,
mean,
this is
what's
what I'm
he
gonna break down.
supposed to
So if you look at
Like, look at the
No,
players
bro,
you've got.
bro, listen, wait.
And you expect them
Give
to
me a
coach
second.
Pereira.
Give me a
Coach.
second.
Fred.
Give me a
He's
second.
starting these
Give me a
players, you know?
second. So since the season, this is United's record, right? They have wins against Chelsea twice, Leicester, Astana in the Europa League, a draw with Liverpool, a win against Partizan, Norwich, Chelsea. That's wins, right?
Yeah.
Cool. When you look at the draws, they've drawn against Wolves, Southampton, Rochdale, which they then won on pens, AZ away, and Arsenal.
Yeah.
When you look at the losses, they've lost to Crystal Palace, West Ham, Newcastle, and Bournemouth.
So what does that tell you?
In
What does that
fact,
tell you?
me, it tells me that there's a fundamental issue somewhere with the application of players in matches or the coaching.
Absolutely.
Are the players
players are
actually
not
just
up to
playing
standard.
for big games No, they must be up to standard because when you're playing the teams above you, you'll get results. It's when you're playing the teams below, you're not getting results. So that tells me one of two things. It's either that he's not deploying his team right, or the team just decide that, like Rashford. Because if we look at
pick and choose.
No, but
that's
bro,
the absolute stupidest thing I've ever heard.
If we look at the Rashford's record, no, but this is why.
What games?
Man said man them are just deciding. Oh, it's Crystal Palace, so I'm gonna decide to play shit.
It's easy to get motivated.
How about
shit games? You're like, you know what? We'll probably walk Bournemouth,
Okay,
and then you go there and get slapped and humbled.
But this is why I'm putting.
Let me speak. Because if you watch Man United week in, week out, yeah, you would know against these big teams, against the Chelsea, whatever. What do Man United do? Go on, tell me. We sit and we go counter, yeah. And teams that try and play against us, we can pick off. These small teams, Palace, Bournemouth, when Man United have the initiative to go and win a football match, they don't. We can't even string 3-4 passes together. We can't be the coaching system to attack is so poor. It's so poor. United can't break down teams. That's why in the summer, what did Ole have the opportunity to do? You had the opportunity to go and sign centre mids, creativity. These type of players, what did he do? Nothing. He threw away Lukaku. He threw away Herrera.
Pogba, to be honest,
he's a fool. Obviously, Pogba's not playing, which is a big loss.
That's for me. It's like that's why your midfield looks so MIA.
Right now, if he plays, he doesn't do nothing.
And then let's look at the picture in the whole entirety. Right, that's this season, right? If you look at Ole's record in charge, 21 losses out of 50 games is not the required standard for Manchester United. And on the coaching point, right, let's be very, very real. I think there's a slight difference between a coach and a manager. I think a manager will kind of do tactics and whatnot, do great things. And that's where a few seasons ago, we used to be hypercritical on Klopp. He didn't make the right subs in games. He didn't rotate his squad the right way. He's learned how to do it now. He's always been a good coach. He's always had good systems and he's improved his players. Who's improved at Manchester United, please? Let's be honest. Who's improved?
McTominay not improved.
McTominay and who else?
Wan-Bissaka's played well.
Wan-Bissaka got
Rashford now does Rashford look better under Ole or under Jose?
Man, them are talking about McTominay.
Does Rashford look better under Ole or under Jose?
Listen.
You just said that he's scored, but you just said he's scored
asking a question.
But hear what I'm saying. In the same, okay, hold on.
Because
okay, look, I like McTominay. I like his character and stuff, but I don't know. There's some bread session going on for McTominay right now.
Bro, he's balling.
You're talking.
He's been your best player this season.
So where was McTominay? What was when it's not time to defend? Yeah, and it's time to go and get the initiative. What does McTominay offer Man United in games where we need to go and win?
What do you mean?
As in creatively? What does he offer us on the ball?
Bro, he's a defensive midfielder.
Nothing. He doesn't offer us nothing.
He's a defensive
midfielder.
Him and
Fred don't offer us
You're
nothing.
Going to put that on him.
When it's defensive and it's... Bro, you got to control game. You need to...
You're expecting McTominay to dominate United's midfield. He's just got into the team like under a year ago.
Now you're breading him saying he's your best player. So
this season he has been your best player on form.
Bro, you're a centre midfielder. If you're a centre midfielder, your basis should be how to control games.
So you're expecting him to play like Pogba?
No, not Pogba, because Pogba is a creative. I'm talking about possession, hold the ball. We're so bad at holding the ball, and it comes from the midfield. Fred, AP, and McTominay is an absolutely dreadful midfield. And as I said, I said already, if I don't, there could be some star players outside of the top six, when Dimitri Payet was here, and that would go into like most teams, for example. United, there should be no time ever where a Bournemouth midfield should be starting for Man United. Billing and Lerma are better than Fred and McTom. And it's as simple as that. It is as simple as that. They dominated them as well. Billing took these two to school, by the way. He took them to school.
Yeah, so but he's not going to. He doesn't play for Nigeria. So
for me, let's settle it down a little bit.
McTominay has done fucking well this season for me. That's how I see
it.
He's done brilliant this
season.
That's
1 point.
You cannot criticize
the performance. He's not. But I think that's 1 point. That's not the point we're looking at.
Wait, you can't use the same energy of saying McTominay's done well and then now start trying to say Rashford's done trash.
No one said Rashford's done trash. No one said trash. But that game, he was MIA.
And where was McTom?
MIA as well. You have bad games. That's fine. Rashford's had a good start to the season. Like, so has McTom. And they're probably the only few bright spots. For me, I'll be real with you. Ole ain't going to be gone anytime soon. He's going to be given January and probably the summer. You lot just need that midfield.
I think he's going to get January, but
you lot must invest in that midfield.
Can I ask you a question?
That's the key thing.
Can I ask you both a question? Because you mentioned Smalling, right? You mentioned Lukaku, right? Smalling has gone to a Roma team where he looks completely different now.
Smalling is shit.
No, but
why are we talking about
Smalling? Wait.
But he's no different to Maguire. He's no different to Maguire.
My question is, My question is,
God,
under Oli, are they actually going to perform though? This is the thing. Smalling and Lukaku, are they going to perform like they're performing under the manager?
Lukaku would just be an option. Lukaku they shouldn't have got rid of. Smalling, by all means, they should have got rid of. I'm just saying it's ironic with the Smalling situation.
The question I'm asking is, do you reckon Lukaku's form now can be captivated? Conte has captivated him and molded a system and a coaching philosophy and coached him to
use him
well.
to his advantage.
That's what I'm saying. Oli cannot coach and he cannot manage. His decisions in games are not great, and he can't actually coach players to improve them. People are gonna say, "Oh, but look at Daniel James," and I keep saying this, right? Daniel James is playing well because he's playing his game. If you watched him in the Championship, ironically, like we actually watched, that's all he did. He would run, cutting, and shoot. Once you keep doing it for a while, it's gonna work for you, and you're gonna be like, you know what, cool. But that doesn't mean that Ole's coached him to be a better player. Same thing with McTominay. McTominay, I said it last season when they
I think we're discrediting.
If Ole,
when he played Barcelona,
Ole gets trashed too much.
No, but
there's nothing that you can lean on to say that Ole's done well.
I'm not saying he's done well, but like, what do you expect?
Do you think if Ole was the manager of Liverpool, they'll be
like right now for me, United are performing up to their standard.
If Ole was the manager of Liverpool, what do you think they'll be doing? Do you think Liverpool will be a title challenger? They'll be battling the top four. You know,
I'm not saying he's as good as Klopp.
Bayern sat
he's
their
nowhere
manager.
near as good as Klopp. I'm not saying that.
He's a terrible manager.
I'm not saying that. But I'm saying right now where you are is a reflection of your squad. And I'll be honest with you, I think more your
13th?
Like
the squad is 13th. Is it 13th quality?
You know right now 5th to 14th.
Hold on, no, but do you think the squad is a 13th? It's 13th.
Looking at your team,
boy,
I would say so.
He's got a coach, man.
Cool.
He's got a coach.
I'll ask one really quick question on this. Whilst the caretaker stint was going on, I believe it was Paul Ince came out and said any United legend would have been able to do the job that Ole's doing.
They killed him for that.
I thought it was a bit harsh, but in hindsight,
Ince, you know.
In hindsight, is there some truth?
He should probably come in and take it off.
Listen, we don't talk about Paul Ince over here, mate. You guys can talk.
What are you saying? Is he on a ban?
He's away, son.
But if you look at it now, when it was kind of caretaker, you know what? I'll be the nanny. I'll look after. It was all great, but
for me, they were there.
At that time when it's time to coach, Ole just can't coach. It's the bottom.
I just think he's got duds available to him.
So you think if Ole had better players, would we what?
It could be different because put it this way: when the players were doing and giving all their efforts, I feel in the first 11 games he was in charge, because Jose were gone, they were like, we're putting in that extra effort.
I don't respect that.
They were balling out, and I'm not even lying to you. Average duds were looking good, but then all of a sudden it was like, all right, cool, he's here, and now I feel like the players just down tool whenever they.
I can hear that
because they know now Ollie's on the verge. So games like Bournemouth, if they down tools, they know he might be out. They know he might be out. So
I can hear that.
So that comes back to you saying when it's the big games, they turn up.
When it's the big games for me, it's easy to get motivated for Chelsea. It's like, bro, I'm gonna shine. I'm gonna look good. Boom. You was dropping the top 6 stats the other way.
Ole coming out and then saying, you know, maybe I got my team selection wrong, bro. You're just not. Yeah, no,
he definitely has like a naivety to him. Yeah, he has such a naivety to him.
I'll be honest, I do feel sorry for him. I mean, even
Fergie needs to come in and be director of football.
What he's doing is terrible.
We need Fergie back.
Fergie needs to be director of football. That's what needs to happen.
Tell you what, before we go into the next topic, one thing I'm starting not to like is there's a lot of players, and it's not just United, it's Arsenal as well. Former players talking very hypercritically about whoever's in charge and whatnot. And I just sit and think about, okay, you're saying all of this. Maybe do something, maybe help out, maybe do this. Example, Roy Keane has all the answers, right? But if Roy Keane was the manager of United...
But the thing is, though,
it's I know he's a pundit, but do you get what I'm saying? If you care about this club as much as you say and whatnot, you're saying all of this, my guy. All it is one... You have all the answers, supposedly. Tell man.
Bro, the only thing...
Wait, hold on. Ole said that he goes to Roy Keane's house to learn about leadership. So maybe Keane is trying to help man.
At your big age.
He's blocking it out.
At your big age.
Yeah, I'm trying to say, this is pathetic. He's pathetic. It's pathetic, bro. Listen, like these ex-players can't do nothing. That's not their role.
They're pundits. Their job is to talk at the end of the day. I take everything what they say with a pinch of salt.
No, 100%. But in terms of like people that they breaking down the games, they're telling you that, oh yeah, but Oli could have done this before the game or whatnot. I just kind of think sometimes, okay, cool. If you have all of this insight and you're so close to the situation, even if
so now outside sources should be helping our manager.
Nah, that's what I'm saying, man. Like, this is getting embarrassing. You're trying to stop it, man.
Bro, wasn't their director of football job open this season, this summer at Man United? Yeah. Wasn't Darren Fletcher and Rio Ferdinand were heavily linked with it? what ended up happening? And Edward Wood
what
ended up
change
saying,
first.
no, we don't need a director of
It's that
football right
front
now.
office
Pulled it
or
away.
whatever
So
needs
you
to
can't
change.
talk about other... Rio's obviously in the punditry always talking about United and stuff. He can't help. What can he do? When he could have, they didn't want to hire him. So
Arsenal, I would even say, are ahead of you in that extent, where they've changed with Raul and all these guys coming in.
Hey,
You're still having Ed Woodward.
We're going to go into Arsenal.
I don't think is helping you lot moving forward.
Yeah.
I think, forget Ollie, that's what you lot need to change first.
Saudis.
I was about to say, we would not be the best.
Get your prayers up, bro. Get your prayers up.
Listen, if the Saudis come in,
if the Saudis come in, I'm sorry, Premier League, it's just over, bro. Announce Mbappe, announce Pep, announce KDB. They're coming to United, you know. Nah, I'm playing, but nah. Road talks. If the Saudis come to United, oh god, listen, Ole, they might even kill Ole. Sack him. They might kill him. They might kill Ole, you know. Yo, so let's just be calm with that, though, man.
But let's get into the next bit, man. Arsenal. Arsenal. I'll be honest, I don't have much to say here, man. I think when I was gallivanting, you know, in the communities, copyright infringement, are Arsenal fans the issue in that club? Are they toxic? I know this is a debate that happened a few years ago and it disappeared, but in terms of the events we've seen recently, are they a real problem at Arsenal?
Are they the real problem?
Yeah,
Are they the real problem?
Are they the issue?
I'll be honest, nah.
Fans.
Nah. Like, fans, you got to remember, like, what is the word fans short for? Fanatics. Like, at the end of the day, they're doing...
Set man didn't
they're
know
doing
that.
Set man were like, raw!
Set man are like,
Like,
I thought it meant fandom.
fanatics, like, that's what they're there for. They rep their clubs. Like, you got to remember, at a football club, chairmans come and go, boards come and go,
The fans
managers
don't go.
come and go, players come and go,
This guy
staff
just said
come
the
and go.
meme.
But brother, the fans are the one constant that never change. So no matter
Yeah.
what, they are entitled for me to their
the
opinion,
kidman.
whether it be discussed, whatever it be, protest. So if people are saying, I think with Arsenal it's more perpetuated because of AFTV. Everybody is like, you can have access to their reaction straight away.
Yeah.
But are they the problem at that club? No, the problems are on the pitch.
I agree. The problems are on the pitch and in the
boardroom.
boardroom,
I
of
agree
course,
there.
yeah. But I feel like Arsenal fans, because like they have this little thing where obviously the Emirates is the most expensive ground in the league or whatever. So they think, oh, we pay big money, we can chat rubbish all the time.
Yeah.
No. If we're going back to the issue with Xhaka or with Wenger, like Arsenal fans are like now becoming known for turning on their own. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
They booed Abue, which we know. He said that I was crying. Yeah, whatever. Wenger, they ran him out. Like, listen, he's your GOAT. They ran him out. It wasn't no like, oh, it's time for Wenger. They ran him out. They brought stands out here. Get him out. You got what you wished for now, mate. He's gone. You've got Emery. Now you're booing Xhaka. You're targeting individuals. Arsenal fan as a fan base, I think it is quite toxic. It is quite toxic. But is it? Are they the problem? Are they the problem? No, you can't say they're the problem. They're not the ones kicking the football. Do you know what I'm trying to say?
They're not the root
But
cause of everything.
they are a toxic fan base, I think.
But
well, they're becoming one.
They
anyway.
are toxic.
Listen,
Because I think every fan base is toxic.
Listen,
Every case.
No.
Like,
Everyone.
United fans, like, there's so many.
Everyone has, like, their fan base has booed a player or whatever. Just yesterday, Rio talked about the Man United fans booed him, but that was a situation where he didn't sign his contract. So that means your loyalty to the club is being questioned. Do you know what I mean? The fan base don't know if you know what I mean, if you're with us type thing. But Arsenal fans are actually booing a guy that's putting 100% on the pitch. He's trying,
well, no, they question his 100%.
If he's
dead baller.
Listen, if he's rubbish,
period.
Dead baller.
He's a dead baller. That's
fair
why
enough. I've seen.
Don't give a dead baller my armband. That's what they're booing about.
That's the manager.
I've seen a million dead ballers at Arsenal. Yeah, I've seen loads of dead ballers. They didn't boo them.
I think the issue.
Yeah, I mean,
the issue
he's
there
trying.
is, like I said last week, they've clearly got better options in that midfield.
But let me chime in here quickly. I would say
what's Ceballos doing? What's he doing?
He actually
doing?
gave the ball away for the goal.
What's he doing? Does like 3 Cruyff turns
what
before
I
he
have
gets a pass.
every
single time.
Where the Arsenal fans, it's like, I don't like speaking Arsenal too much, but where I have an issue is, Cam said this in the group, so boy, this is your point.
Copyright.
Copyright. That's the theme of the week. Copyright. But imagine having your GOAT running out the person that brought all this success and glamour to you. Yeah. And then fans are saying that, you know what, we want the person that called this man as failure.
No, the biggest op.
Bro, you're actually, listen, yeah.
Jose, he ain't coming.
Wenger was, and Fergie had this rivalry, yeah? But Jose and thing was personal. Yeah. Like, that was serious.
The voyeur.
Jose has mocked Arsenal's football. Jose has called them weak. Jose has called Emirates quiet. Jose has called their manager specialist in failure. And these Arsenal fans are begging that they want Jose Mourinho.
So for me, because the thing is that can happen to anyone, right? The problem with Arsenal and the thing is, I don't even know whether it's now or if it's been a massive thing, but the swaying, that is so dangerous. I saw clips, right? I'm not gonna out anyone because he knows who he is and he's a friend of the show. But before the game, Emery in. As soon as the game was finished, he was the first person in front of the camera.
That wasn't him.
But there's man. There is man. Them are saying stuff in it, and that if you've got such a vocal fan base, that echoes around. You can't when you move like that. That's dangerous for any institution. You can't go left and right like that. It's like Oba now, right? Aubameyang. He's not my friend. We call him Oba. When he was doing his little,
we call him Oba.
When he's scoring goals, it's great. I tell you not. The second, I'll give Lacazette. I'll get a better example. When he was doing all right, Lacazette is the best striker in the Premier League. He is amazing. He's this and that. He should be playing for France. The second he stops scoring, or he's injured, in fact, he's injured. You know what? We should sell him. You know, we got Martinelli. Yeah, we got this and that.
Listen, Arsenal fans. The only reason I'll disagree with you on that one because Arsenal fans have some crazy love. Yeah, Arsenal fans love Laka because he's part of the culture. He gets nice trims. He gets listen, Lacazette. Yeah, no, on a real because Lacazette. Yeah, Lacazette is probably a really nice guy. Whatever.
But why are they saying about him now?
And he embodies Arsenal in terms of
why
this
they
new
saying
thing
about him
now?
now?
Where are you?
I ain't gonna lie, they're not really trying to say get rid of him.
Listen, that's what I'm saying. People I'm speaking to, I've seen a lot of people, and again, it's not for the whole fan base, but I have seen Arsenal fans saying we should get rid of him.
Maybe some will say anything.
And this goes back to what we're saying. Like, you can't just
to touch on Lacazette, he's got 2 goals in 18. Best striker, should play for France.
Boy.
And then
should play for France.
Listen,
he's a top
if
striker.
you want to
he's better
address
than Aubameyang apparently.
If you want to address the real issue, I think
numbers speak for themselves, boy.
Listen,
what's the difference between you and Aubameyang? There's not much difference. Just nice trim, nice beard. That's about it.
I'm just fucking attacking me like this.
Nice trim, nice trim, nice beard.
We spoke about
be all end all.
We spoke about Ole earlier. We were saying coach and whatnot. A lot of Arsenal fans, again, in pockets. I've seen Arsenal fans that have been anti-Emery since the day he got in, and they've been strong with it for long now. I've seen fans that are jumping on this now. If you look at Emery's kind of discography, discography. If you look at it, it's a bit mad. Yes, of all he won some trophies and whatnot, but this guy has serious red flags against him. Serious red flags.
Let me explain.
Look at how can good evening.
Good evening. Let me explain.
We are asking you about your tactical breakdown, and you go, first of all, good evening.
Good evening.
Nah, you see with Emery though, there is red flag. Look, but the thing is, there is red flags with Emery. Yeah. Obviously 6'1".
So
he's a fraud, innit? He's a fraud. He's got a lot of fraud,
right? Yeah. How is that different to some of his treatment of the PSG players and whatnot? These are things that are blatantly obvious, right? And then even when you deliver what the fans want and what should be the best scenario, you actually can't coach or implement or manage these players to actually bring on the result that's needed.
Emery's not a great manager, but I honestly think that he's Arsenal level, and I'm not even trying to mock Arsenal. No, on a real, I'm not trying to mock Arsenal.
You're saying he's a Europa League manager.
Arsenal level. When I'm seeing Arsenal fans,
that's a fair way to
look at it. He's a specialist in the Europa League.
Arsenal have finished in the Europa League.
By us.
They've finished in the Europa League the last 3 seasons. Yeah, whatever. Emery is a master of the Europa League.
Won it 3 years.
I think he is their level. Arsenal fans calling for Allegri. I'm sorry, he's above you. Allegri is bigger than Arsenal. Bro.
Let's be real as well.
You guys Arsenal need to be looking around that. That Brendan Rodgers, Emery,
up and comers.
Like Nagelsmann, Eddie Howe, young Eddie Howe, and
Ten Hag,
Chris Wilder.
Bro,
you love Chris Wilder.
Now on the road, they need to be looking at that. Like Emery I think is the right standard for Arsenal. he just, I don't know.
He's not doing a good job.
He's the right standard for Arsenal, but for what Arsenal want and where Arsenal think they should be,
how far off is he to Arsenal's
again,
targets?
This goes back to
like
what
Rio
saying.
said on the weekend, like since the Vieiras and Henrys have left, they haven't had a DNA.
I can't lie. I disagree with that.
I disagree with that
You
because
think that?
what about United?
What have they done since?
What about
Apart
United?
from play pretty football,
don't
what
think
has been their
don't
DNA
think-
since?
yeah, but-
Bringing young players through.
Yeah, but come on, like you can't say from the Vieira Henry. From the Vieira Henry, we're forgetting
A
that
lot's
Arsene Wenger picked up what George Graham left off. Yeah, initially. So Arsene Wenger picks up what George Graham left off, and then started adding some French.
Winterburns
Yeah,
and
then
then
started
Englishman.
adding some French
Yeah.
spice to it, but they were still had that, you know, that steel to them.
Cool.
But then once the game started changing, and credit to Wenger, he was the first to see the
To
game was
adapt.
starting to move. Yeah, that's
To
when
the more
Fabregas
technical
started
side of
coming through.
things, yeah.
Nasri, we can't say that's not a DNA. I'm
He
sorry.
just didn't sign-
Wenger ball didn't start with the Invincibles. Now Wenger ball was around 2007 onwards.
Yeah.
Wenger ball is a DNA. I'm sorry, I disagree with Rio with that.
I hate how he tries to give every manager just ball at the end of
Yeah,
their
no,
name
but
to name
Wenger
their
ball.
style of play. Frankie Ball,
Yeah.
Ollie Ball.
Nah, but I disagree, man. I think Arsenal had a DNA, and now they ain't got a DNA. Now it's just a bunch of. It's just a bunch. Torreira's a fake hard man, and you got Gundozi, and you got.
That's the thing.
It's a bit of a mess. Before technical tippy tappy football, yeah, maybe it didn't
That
bring
won
them
nothing.
success. Yes, it didn't bring them success.
Like when they
But it's a
converted to
DNA.
that, when they
It's a
committed
DNA.
to were just a pretty football team, Arsenal lost all success for me.
yeah,
Like,
yeah, that's true.
But like, and for me, that was losing your DNA. That was you tried to create this new DNA.
Yeah.
It didn't work, big man.
They're gonna kill me for this,
guess so.
but you know, on your McTominay point, a lot of people. I like Gunduzi as a player, right? I think he's good. I think he tries and whatnot, but the pedestal that they put him on, I think is incorrect. And again, I think it's again with this whole toxicality.
I think
of
this
the fans.
season though,
'Cause-
he's done really well.
No,
I'll
but it's-
give him
what
that. And
happens-
as someone who
but
coming
that
into
is
this
why-
season, I was shitting
That
on
is
him.
why I mentioned the McTominay point, because ultimately he's doing what he's supposed to do.
Yeah.
But is he kind of like
Look, yeah.
world class above where he at?
Oh, no,
a
no,
good
no.
example.
And
a
it's-
good example.
I hear what you're
is,
saying, yeah.
Look at what McTominay is doing at United, yeah.
Yeah.
And don't get say, as I said, I really like McTominay, and I hope he stays at United for a long time.
Armband
But look at
coming
what
soon.
McTominay is doing at United.
Yeah.
United are singing it to the praises, to the
Yeah.
heavens. Look at what Gunduzi is doing at Arsenal. Arsenal are singing it to
Singing
the praises. Look at what Henderson is doing at Liverpool. Liverpool fans are onto him. He's
Do you
doing
get
the
where I'm
same
coming
thing
from?
that them man are doing, you know.
What you
But
saying?
because Liverpool got standards, bro. That's the difference.
And this
They
is
got
the
standards.
point I'm trying to
Listen,
make.
they're only grilling Henderson, but then when he scored against Spurs, they were loving him.
No,
Their
Yeah,
fans
that's
are
a
fickle.
goal.
Fans are
highlighting
fickle,
it.
bro. Like,
No, but you're highlighting a different. What we're trying to highlight is the quality. And the thing is, I
know
used
what
to
you're
think
saying, yeah.
I used to
Yeah,
think
yeah,
that
yeah.
they were doing it because he came from French League 2
Yeah.
and that he's playing well in the Premier League. Because that's what they'll be like. Oh, because when I asked them, what does he do? Fans don't really
That's
give me an
He's
that's what I
progressive.
asked at the
That's all I
start of the
can say.
season.
He's
Yeah,
progressive.
But
but
like
a
I
lot of
said,
them
I
players
like
for
him,
me,
but I
like a
think
lot
that
of players
it
who
sums
play
up
in
the
that position
situation,
don't get the credit till like years later, or they're in their 30s. Like for me, Alonso and them players didn't start getting Pirlos. They didn't start
Yeah.
getting credit till they were 30s.
Let's put a big full stop between.
But Guendouzi and Pirlo, I know.
I
but
hear what you're
then-
saying.
We
Anyway.
have to make sure. You know when people cut the clips, or you might be listening and your wife is a bit dodgy.
Yeah, go on.
Listen. But anyway, any other business? What else happened in the Premier League? Actually, VAR. Let's get into it quickly. I've had enough.
VAR,
It's
but
just-
do you know what? There's one quick fix. Go look at the screen on the side.
100%.
Big man. Like
That's
you-
why it's the screen.
Like you've been
That's
given
what's there.
tools to use.
Use them.
Use
But
them.
why don't the refs go to? Why
Because
don't the refs?
apparently
Do
it's
you
going
know-
to slow down the
Too
game.
long.
It's going to
And
slow
I'm
down.
like,
long.
big man, you're trying to give me accurate results. Nah.
Yeah, but you're a big
No, no,
man.
no, no,
Control
no.
yourself and go
If
when
they
you need to
tell
go.
you it's a shaky one and they give you the two
Yeah,
free
yeah,
checks,
yeah.
go and check it yourself, big man. Like the Firmino one, I'm sorry. He
Armpits.
should have had a screen.
Armpits.
Go and check that to say. And this is the thing as well. When you've got that Stockley Park official, it's like you've got two refs in a game.
Yeah, yeah,
You
yeah.
don't need two. There needs to be one ref. He's a video assistant
Mm,
referee. You're meant to assist. The final say is meant to come from the ref, who for me looks at the screen on the touchline,
Yeah.
and that would solve so many of these small issues that we have
Yeah.
now.
And then what's going on now is that like refs are not making decisions because they know it's just going to go to VAR.
Some
You know
guy
what
in
I'm
the
saying?
ear is going to tell him it's all good.
Yeah,
and
I mean, that's
and
kinda
have you
dead.
seen how they don't want to overrule each other because they don't want to undermine the ref on the
yeah,
pitch?
yeah.
Of
So
course.
it's like you're not giving accurate decisions.
But
now. You're just
VAR,
using
VAR was
technology.
meant to come in to
make
bring
things better,
accuracy. And you
honestly.
know what? There's a lot of things that I don't agree with VAR, but I thought with VAR, the one thing that we can all agree on, is the handball rule, which is if it touches
Yeah.
your hand, it's handball. I don't care what you're doing. You could
Yeah.
be doing a backflip. If it touches your hand, it's handball.
Handball.
Yeah.
But then you don't give Laporte's against Spurs But then you don't give Everton the penalty for Dele Alli's
I can't
today.
lie to you, that was criminal.
That doesn't make sense.
Criminal.
Laporte's hand was lower than Dele Alli's. Dele
Ali
Alli's,
had his hand
we
up
have no
here.
idea why his hand was there. But to be honest, he wasn't even looking either. He couldn't see
It
what
flicked
was
up
But
going on.
either way,
Yeah.
but still,
So
your
this
hand
is
should not be up
ridiculous.
the
there.
rule is the rule.
The rule
But
is just
the
a mess,
reason
man.
why I'm pissed off with VAR, the Firmino one,
Yeah.
they said he was offside by his armpit. But I'm pretty sure part of the offside rule is gaining
don't-
an advantage.
I thought
How
you can't
is-
be
not even
offside by
get-
your
by
I thought,
hand
I thought it's
or
only
arm.
where you're
Yeah,
allowed
but-
to score with. You're not allowed
Yeah.
to score with your arm.
No,
right?
but
so
how
That's
is,
why the Sun won earlier in the season. With
but
Leicester,
how
it was
is-
the same situation.
how is your armpit giving you
I
an
don't know.
advantage?
I don't know.
That's where I was like, you know
It
what?
just
I
don't make
think
sense.
the application of it is wrong. It's funny because the Rugby World Cup was on and whatnot, and they have communication where people actually listening and stuff like that. Because I didn't realize until you mentioned it when you was at the game. Because I asked you about the
Yeah.
VAR incident, and you said we didn't see it.
Yeah.
And I was like, Ross, imagine paying money, you pay
pay
your
a ticket.
hard-earned money, you go and you don't even know what's going on.
You don't
But
know
I'm
what's
at
in-
home
yeah.
and I'm like, oh yeah, I can. Guys, give me replay.
Like even
Doesn't make
for the
sense.
fans in the stadium, they should play a replay. But for me, easy, quick fix.
Nah,
all of
I
this.
don't think fans should be allowed to see it.
If you're watching
and
it
the
on
players
TV,
on
you see the
pitch.
replays. If you're in the stadium, you don't see the replays.
Yeah.
Nah,
Like,
because
do you know what?
I
I'll give you an
can't do
example.
nothing at my
Similar like they
house.
do in
I can't do
basketball.
nothing. I can't make it a toxic
Well, I can go
environment at my yard. You know what I
Bro,
mean?
you're just
I don't
showing
think
the
fans should see it.
evidence. So that way, if the ref makes a decision, this is why I've made
Also,
a
no,
decision.
but also, yeah.
Like-
I just think. Okay, I hear you.
That-
Do you see
You
what I'm
need
saying?
to
Like,
see it.
if the ref
Because-
says it's offside and he says, boom, they replayed the
there,
decision
yeah.
there,
I think-
boom, fans are happy.
I think they're not playing
agree.
it. I think they're not playing it because they don't, not because they don't want the fans to see. I think they don't want the players to see. Because I'm not gonna lie, if I saw Firmino was offside by armpit, next person that gets the ball, I'm clattering him because I'm pissed off. I'm pissed. I don't agree.
You're
with
gonna
that.
penalise your
Everyone-
team then.
Everyone on the pitch is gonna be. You know when something happens and you think you got bumped, yeah?
Yeah.
You haven't got 100% confirmation until afterwards. Then everyone's pissed. Like, oh my god, we got bumped. But in the match, if I'm feeling like I've been cheated or something else is influencing me playing football,
Yeah.
I don't think.
I
it should
hear
mix,
you,
man.
but
I don't think it should mix.
football in general, you can get that vibe anyway. There could be a bad decision and the fans pick up on it, and then the whole thing goes mad. So I get your point, but naturally that's going to trickle down into stadium anyway.
The fans
haven't-
get
you
that,
haven't
but the fans
consumed
are
it
not gonna
yourself.
The fans are not going to say, "Hey, Maze, yeah, I saw the penalty." You don't.
No,
it's not gonna affect- but if you
100%
saw it with
not.
your own two eyes.
Yeah, it's a
I'm
different
like,
feeling.
What kind of injustice is
But
this?
at the same time, if you know the rules, like today's one with Ali,
Ali.
everyone knows the rules. Man just go for briefings and whatnot. Man just tell the players this.
Like
the briefing.
that one.
if
you
see
saw that on the screen, he's
thing
given
is-
that penalty.
No, but the thing is, I've seen
Yeah.
I've seen the handball. So I'm already pissed anyway because I know the rules and I know what you're supposed to do. I know the protocol of what you're supposed to
Yeah.
do. You haven't gone to check it.
No.
Someone's told you, but I've seen it. So I get it, but it goes hand in hand. I just think that they don't apply VO right, and it's like,
It's the first year anyway. I mean, it'll get.
It'll have a
should get
teething
better.
issues. There will always be teething
Yeah.
no,
issues.
but I don't think they have these issues.
these
in,
types
like,
of
the
things for
league and
me,
that.
like other sports have shown that you can use video reviews and there's ways to do it. And I don't think like the Premier League has tried to imitate or try to help themselves in
They've
any
tried to do their own
way.
thing.
They've left fans in the lurch in the stadiums. The people at home are confused as to what the rule making
Yeah,
is.
yeah, yeah.
And then the referees are stuck making these decisions that they're being overruled and shit. So
Listen, man,
Boy, I don't know.
that's another episode, man. Allegri to United. If he doesn't go
pray.
bad, if he doesn't go
you
bad,
wish.
Bruh, I think
Ollie in,
it's gonna
bruv.
be so annoying.
listen. But you know where it is, man. That is Stoppage Time on Apple Music, Spotify, SoundCloud, 360 on YouTube. Remember, if you like this content, comment, subscribe, all of that lovely stuff. Don't copyright because it's bad and it's negative. If you like
Chris
what we're doing,
Wilder.
share it with your friends. Chris Wilder's a very
Chris
good
Wilder for
manager as
England.
well. Free.
Yo,
Come on, man.
you
Chris Wilder for England.
Shut up!
cut the thing.
Chris Wilder for England.
Shut
bruh.
up.
It's
Listen, that's no
mental.
episode. We're out of here, man.